Hi all, welcome to BIAS Academy, Science and Technology audio notes for prelims and mains. Unit 6, Part 4, Chapter 1. The chapter is Global Environmental Issues and the Role of it in Environment and Human Health. The topics which we are going to cover are major global environmental issues. Next is information technology in environment management. The third one is Environmental Information Systems, that is ENVIS. The next topic is India State Level Basic Environmental Information Database, that is ISBEID. The last topic is Information Technology in Healthcare. Let's start with the first topic. So, what are the major global environmental issues that man is facing today? The global environment outlook of United Nations Environmental Programme. You have to remember this for your prelims as well. UNEP releases Global Environmental Outlook. UNEP is United Nations Environmental Programme. Okay, this Global Environment Outlook has, what is it? It's a report. It has highlighted that the Earth is facing the greatest of the environmental threats than ever before. Climate change, increasing pace of urbanization, widespread pollution of air, pollution of water, soil pollution, all these are identified as the major threats and challenges faced by the planet Earth today. In addition to climate change, the other global environmental issues include acid rains, ozone depletion, biodiversity extinction, accumulation of hazardous solid waste, and unsustainable use of mineral resources. The climate change is considered as the most dangerous threat to the life of the planet on Earth. Many scientists warn of severe impacts of climate change affecting agricultural productivity, affecting food security, affecting nutritional security of many developing and poor nations. Okay, climate change is considered as most dangerous because it impacts agricultural productivity, it impacts food security, it impacts nutritional security, especially in developing and poor nations. Okay, according to the latest ambient air quality database, which is released by World Health Organization, 97% of the cities in low and middle income countries with more than 1 lakh inhabitants do not meet World Health Organization's air quality guidelines. Especially in low and middle income countries, 97% of the cities with a population of 1 lakh do not meet to the World Health Air Quality Guidelines. Who said this? World Health Organization in its Ambient Air Quality Database. Okay, in the past 2 years, the database covering more than 4,300 cities and settlements in 108 countries have nearly doubled, with more and more locations measuring air pollution levels and recognizing and associated health impacts. As air quality declines, the risk of stroke, heart diseases, lung cancer, chronic and acute respiratory diseases, including asthma, increases in the people who live in them. So, what are the problems, health problems faced by the people who live in a low air quality areas? They are subjected to risk of stroke, heart diseases, lung cancer, chronic and acute respiratory diseases, includes asthma as well. Okay, the problem of ocean acidification is threatening the entire marine biodiversity, which is also seriously affecting the livelihood of more than 1 billion population living along the coastal regions of many countries. So, ocean acidification is also a threat to marine biodiversity. Even though the pace of ozone depletion has gradually become down, but still there is a need to completely control and phase out all types of ozone depleting substances. The non-forest activities are rapidly reducing the forest areas in Asia, Africa, North America, South America. As per the recent database of Brazil's National Space Research Institute, a forest area of 7,900 square kilometers was cleared between August 2017 to July 31st, 2018 in Brazil. So the forest area is, what does it say? The forest area is coming down in Brazil, North America, South America, Asia, Africa, all these areas. The frequency of natural disasters has increased across the world with increased intensity of cyclones, increased intensity of hurricanes, typhoons. The world is also facing the threat of another mass biodiversity extinction with a rapid decline in the living spaces in 20th century and the beginning of 21st century as well. Until unless the mankind takes note of these global environmental concerns and come together for coordinated action, coordinated effort, the planet Earth continues to witness severe natural disasters affecting man and other life forms. So these are the major global environmental issues which are being faced by the man today. What are they? Climate change is the main one as per Global Environment Outlook of United Nations Environment Program. What did it say? It said that Earth is facing the greatest environmental threat than ever before. What are the issues? One is climate change, increased pace of urbanization, widespread pollution of air, water pollution, air pollution, soil pollution. These are the major threats and challenges. Apart from the climate change, there are some other things as well. Other global environmental issues like acid rains, ozone depletion, biodiversity extinction, accumulation of hazardous solid waste, unsustainable use of mineral resources. Okay, let's go to the next topic. That is, let's look at the importance of information technology in environment management. Information technology plays an active role in the management of environmental resources. The environment management refers to management of countries' environmental programs in a comprehensive, systematic, planned and documented manner. Okay. The environment management refers to management of countries' environmental programs in a comprehensive, systematic, planned and documented manner. Okay. This also includes collection of information about various areas of environment, collection of information about natural resources, database preparation, environmental aspects and impacts, providing environmental information to decision makers and policy planners, and etc. Lack of access to data on various areas of environment lead to improper evaluation of environmental programs. Effects of developmental activities on environment, faster depletion of natural resources, unsustainable development, severe food crisis, increased deforestation, etc. So will be impacted if we don't have data or database on these various environmental issues. Environmental management has gained prominence in the last 2 to 3 decades. The role of IT in managing environment, collecting, disseminating a range of environmental information is steadily increasing. Information technology involves mainly in the help in the following areas. Let's look at the 5 areas where IT tools are helpful in environmental management. First one is IT helps in increased collection and dissemination of all environmental information. 2. Formalizing, recording and digitization of traditional knowledge and information. Third one, dissemination of environmental information more widely, especially in rural areas among the uneducated people. Fourth, creation of databases on various areas of environment and their integration. Fifth one, constantly generate reports regarding the impact analysis on natural resources, pollution effects of developmental activities, which result in bringing out changes in the government policies. So this is where, so let's repeat where the IT can help in environment management. There are 5 points. The first one is it increases the collection and dissemination of all environmental information. Second one, it formalizes recording and digitization of traditional knowledge and information. Third one, dissemination of environmental information more widely, especially to rural areas as well. Fourth one, it creates a database of various environment and other important aspects. Fifth one, what does this IT do in environmental management? It generates reports. It constantly generates reports regarding impact analysis of what? Impact analysis on natural resources, It also provides data, generates reports on effects of pollution, on the pollution effects of developmental activities as well, and etc. many other areas. So this is about the significance of information technology in environment management. Okay, now let's go to the next topic, that is Environmental Information System of India. It is called ENVIS, ENVIS. Realizing the importance of environmental information, the Government of India established Environmental Information System in December 1982 as a planned program. The ENVIS provides scientific, technical, semi-technical information on various environmental issues and have served the interests of policy formulation, environmental management at all levels of government as well as decision making aimed at environmental protection and its improvement for sustaining good quality of life of all living beings. The purpose has been to ensure integration of national efforts in web-enabled environmental information collection, collation, storage, retrieval and dissemination to all concerned, including policy planners, decision makers, researchers, scientists and the public. So mainly it focuses on integration. Okay, let's look at the long-term objectives of ENVIS. What is ENVIS? Environmental, ENVIS. What is it? Abbreviated? Environmental Information System. When was it started? In the year 1982. What is the date and month? You reply me in the comments below. Okay. What are the objectives of this scheme of ENVIS? Okay. There are 5. Let's look at them. One is to build a repository, that is to build up a repository and dissemination center in the environmental science and engineering. Second objective, to gear up state-of-art technologies of information acquisition, processing, storage, retrieval and dissemination of environmental nature. Third objective, to support and promote research, development and innovation in environmental information technology. There are certain short-term objectives for this ENVIS, that is Environmental Information System, started in December 1982. Main purpose is integration. This has short-term objectives as well. Let's look at them. First one is to provide national environmental information service relevant to the present needs and capable of meeting the future needs of the users, originators, processors and disseminators of information. Second short-term objective of ENVIS is to build up a storage, retrieval, dissemination capabilities with the ultimate objective of disseminating information speedily to users. So, main aim is to disseminate information in a speedy manner. Third objective, to promote national and international cooperation and liaison for exchange of environmental related information. Fourth short-term objective, to promote, support and assist education and personal training programs designed to enhance environmental information processing and utilizing capabilities as well. Fifth short-term objective of Environmental Information System. What is the fifth short-term objective? It is to promote and exchange the environmental related information amongst developing countries. Okay, these are the 5 short-term objectives. What is this ENVIS? ENVIS is a decentralized system of centers. There are different centers at different places. This is a decentralized system of centers. It is mainly mandated to develop a distributed network of subject-specific databases. At present, ENVIS network consists of a chain of 68 ENVIS centers, out of which 40 are on subject-specific and 28 are on state and United Territory related issues. How many are there? Centers 68. 40 work on subject specifics, 28 work on state and union territories related issues. Okay, this is a decentralized system of centers. These centers are hosted by notable organizations, institutions, state and union governments, departments, universities throughout the country. The focal point of Environmental Information System is, or in short ENVIS, is located in the, where is the focal point? It is located in the ministry and assists the EI division in coordinating the activities of all ENVIS network partners. So this is about Environmental Information System. Okay, now let's go to the next topic, that is India state level basic environmental information database. We are talking about a database. Which database? India state level basic environmental information database. Okay. What is this ISBE ID? That is India state level basic environmental information database is a web enabled application. It is an app. It's a web enabled application to develop databases on environment and its related parameters and to make it online for to and fro information flow. This ISBE ID is intended to help ENVIS centers hosted by the states and union territories to collect, compile, disseminate information on the centralized server and to fill the gaps in environmental data dissemination. ISBE ID is being developed by division in collaboration with NIC. There are two components of ISBE ID application, namely one is MIS, that is Management Information System, and another one is GIS, that is Geographical Information System. So I'll repeat, there are two components of ISBE ID application. What is ISBE ID? It is India state level basic environment information database. It is an app. What does this app do? It supports or helps the ENVIS centers, that is environmental information centers. How many centers are there? 68 are there. Okay. This app, coming back to this ISBE ID app, it has two components of it. That is, one is MIS, other one is GIS. What is MIS? MIS is Management Information System, and the next one is GIS, that is Geographical or Geographic Information System. This has been developed by NIC in collaboration with ENVIS Focal Point. Okay, the MIS component, that is Management Information component, is primarily intended to provide one-stop information for users. This MIS also provides query data for its repositories with advanced search and filters. It also prepares charts, graphs to visualize data. MIS also provides statistical tables in PDFs or XLS formats to the users for their custom use. Okay, then what does GIS do? That is Geographic Information System or a module. It is intended to provide internet-based GIS application. It provides interactive maps capable of handling operations like zoom in, zoom out, pan, print, measure, etc. Apart from this, it also enables which one? The GIS, Geographic Information System, enables querying ISBE ID interactively on dynamic maps with layers such as rivers, railway lines, roads, location of national parks, reservoirs or forest reserves, etc. A new user interface for ISBE ID application has also been taken up, keeping in a view of modern technologies which will enable dynamic access to maps on the home page and interactive querying and generation of customized summary reports using its database. It is found that almost 23 state ENVIS centers, that is ENVIS centers, Environment Information System, that is ENVIS centers, have now advanced to the stage of entering data into the 17 modules, which is close to completion. So this is about database. Which database? Information database. Which information database? India state level basic environmental information database. Okay, now let's go to the next topic. That is the last one. Role of information technology in health sector. Or what is health informatics technology or medical informatics? or discuss various types of applications of information technology in human health. Health information technology uses the information technology in healthcare. Simply put, use of IT in healthcare is called health information technology or HIT. What does it do? It provides a comprehensive management of health information and secured exchange between consumers, providers, government, and insurance companies. Recently, on August 15, the Prime Minister of India has announced this one nation, one ration card. This relates to ITA in health sector. Under this one nation, one health card scheme, a person's medical history records, including the treatments, tests that the person has undergone, will be available digitally. All the data will be saved digitally in this card. Hospitals, clinics, or doctors will all be linked to the central server. So which could be a reality in the coming future. This is one nation and one health card. So this is an example of IT in health sector. So let's come back to our topic, that is information technology in health sector. There is a significant social and economic relevance of IT for medicines and healthcare, especially in improving the quality and also reduces the cost. Let's look at the important benefits of employing information technology in healthcare. Number 1, it improves the quality of healthcare. Second one, it prevents medical errors. 3, it reduces healthcare cost. 4, reduces the paperwork. 5, it expands the health access at an affordable cost. Now let's study the different applications or the important public health applications with IT in the healthcare include. There are around 9. Number 1 is electronic health records. Number 2 is picture archiving and communication systems. Number 3 is radio frequency identification system, that is RFID. Number 4, automated systems. Number 5, decision support systems. Number 6, internet medicine. Number 7, computer assisted surgery or robotic surgery. Number 8, telemedicine. Number 9, bioinformatics. Okay, let's look at the first public important health application, that is electronic health records. The name suggests it is a health record which is electronic. Electronic lifetime health records will store data from many sources like text, voice notes, medical images, laboratory values, etc. can be made accessible from any place, providing continuous care to the patient and reducing the cost of duplication. The second application, health application, is PACS, that is picture archiving and communication system. Archiving, I'll spell it ARCHIVING. This system will capture, store, provide access to diagnostic images like X-rays, MRI, CT scans, and this can be accessed from any location. Okay, third application, that is public health application with IT. Third one is RFID, that is radio frequency identification system. This system will use radio waves to wirelessly track hospital patients and microchips to carry information on medicines, laboratory tests, imaging studies, and medical devices. So this RFID technology is also used in retail sector, mostly in Western countries or in Europe and North America. Okay, here in this health sector, it helps in tracking. It helps the hospital to track its patients. How? By using microchips that carry information on medicines, laboratory tests, imaging studies, other medical devices. Okay, let's go to the fourth public health application with IT, that is automated systems. These systems will track and manage the stocks of the pharmaceuticals, like how many medicines we have, how many syringes we have, do we need to pull in an order, or or any medicines are coming to the reaching the expiry date. All this information can be automated. Fifth one is decision support systems. These support systems will give healthcare providers real-time advice on diagnosis and treatment options based on the continuous updated information. This decision support system is being used by many hospitals during the COVID care. So they track it and they provide real-time advice to the patients. Sixth one, that is internet medicine. The mode of obtaining medical information, especially related to medicines based on symptoms, diagnostic procedures using internet from dedicated websites, is called internet medicine. The method also involves like live consultation with doctor, that is telemedicine. The US government already established an online national library of medicine for this purpose. India is also trying to come up with an online library of medicines. Okay. The seventh application is computer assisted surgery or robotic surgeries. The method of using robotic implements guided by special computational tools in both invasive and non-invasive methods of surgery is computer assisted surgery. So this is being implemented in India as well. A separate branch with health informatics called medical robotics is being developed for this purpose. Example, Da Vinci robotic surgery. This is a classic example of computer assisted surgery or a robotic surgery. You can YouTube it or Google it, Da Vinci robotic surgery. Okay, this is an example of robotic surgery. Next application is telemedicine, the method of providing teleconsultation services from advanced city-based hospitals to remote areas through satellite and internet-based live video conferencing is called telemedicine. ISRO is already offering these services using INSAT satellites through its Village Resource Centers program. This Village Resource Center program we have discussed in our earlier classes. Please watch them if you are not aware of what is a Village Resource Center program. These facilities are made available to remote areas in Northeast, Jammu and Kashmir, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Lakshadweep Islands, even to the interior regions of other states. Let's go to the next one, ninth public health application with IT, that is bioinformatics, that is biological informatics. The modern medicine or the modern science that deals with application of computer tools for storage, for analysis and retrieval of biological data is bioinformatics. What is bioinformatics? I'll repeat. Deals with application of computer tools for storage, analysis and retrieval of biological data. If you use an application to analyze the biological data or to retrieve biological data or to store biological data, that is bioinformatics. There are two main branches of bioinformatics, that is genomics and proteomics. I'll spell it: genomics, Genomics. And the next branch of bioinformatics is proteomics, Proteomics. This genomics uses many IT tools for creation of genome database and its analysis. Such a genome analysis helps to identify defective genes in any person, especially related to conditions like cancer, obesity, diabetes, hypertension, and even conditions like baldness. All this can be analyzed at a very early stage in the child, and at the early stage of childhood. This type of information will help lead a quality, healthy lifestyle and reduce the risk of getting affected with such diseases. This is the role played by genomics. Genomics is a branch of bioinformatics, and the second branch is proteomics. Proteomics is the analysis of proteome of the individual. The complete information of the different proteins of an organism is called proteome. What is proteome? Complete information of different proteins of an organism. If you have the complete information of a protein of any organism, that is called a proteome, Proteome. Such a study will help in identifying abnormal proteins, which indicate many disorders. Proteins are the reasons or the causes for abnormal proteins are the cause for many diseases. This can be identified using proteomics. Okay. Today, proteomics is widely employed in drug designing as well. Okay, so let's recap what we have discussed. We have started with major global environmental issues. We have talked about the main one we started with global environmental outlook of United Nations Environment Program that said Earth is facing the greatest environmental threat than ever before. And the major issues are climate change, increased pace of urbanization, widespread pollution of air, water and soil. Apart from this, we have global environmental issues like acid rains, ozone depletion, biodiversity extinction, accumulation of hazardous solid waste and unsustainable use of minerals. After that, we have discussed information technology in environment management. Mainly we discussed about main 5 areas where IT can help in environment management. One is collection, dissemination of environmental information. Second one is formalizing, recording and digitization of traditional knowledge. Third, dissemination of environmental information more widely to rural areas. Fourth one is creates a database of various areas of environment and their integration. 5, it constantly generates reports regarding impact analysis on natural resources, reports on pollution effects of developmental activities and all these things. Next, we have seen Environmental Information System of India, that is ENVIS, which was launched in the year December 1982. Why? To provide scientific, technical and semi-technical information on various environmental issues and has served the interests of policy formulation and helped in environment management at all levels by the government. It also helps in decision making. Okay, after that we have seen India state level basic environmental information database. This is a database, is a web enabled application to develop databases on environment and its related parameters and to make it online. It is a to and fro information flow. So what is the main objective of this? It helps ENVIS centers which are hosted by states to collect, compile and disseminate information on centralized server and to fill the gaps in environmental data dissemination. This is about ISBE-ID. Next, finally, we have discussed role of information technology in health sector. It helps in improving the quality healthcare, prevention of medical errors. It reduces the cost. It reduces or decreases the paperwork. It also helps in dissemination, that is telemedicine. And we have discussed the public health applications with IT. Number 1 is electronic health records. Number 2 is picture archiving and communication systems. Number 3, radio frequency identification system. After that, we have seen 4th, automated systems. 5, decision support systems. 6th is internet medicine. 7 is computer assisted surgery or robotic surgery. Example is Da Vinci robotic surgery. 8 is telemedicine. 9 is bioinformatics. Bioinformatics has 2 branches. What is bioinformatics? Using computer applications or tools for storage, analysis or retrieval of biological data is bioinformatics. It has 2 branches. One is genomics and proteomics. What is genomics? It uses many IT tools for creation of genome database. Proteomics, it collects proteins database. Okay, with this we'll end our today's lecture. If you have any doubts and queries, you can mail us to biasacademy@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.